If you want to learn how to ride a bike, I got you. I told you I got you. So I got you. I'm going to teach you how to ride a bike from the beginning to the end, and you won't feel like a noob anymore, even though you're a new booty right now. But hey, let's get into the video. Let's get on the bike, and I'm about to teach you everything you need to know.
All right, so here we are. We're ready to get on the bike. There's a few things that you need to know. And you want to try to find a parking lot that's nice and empty where there's no people around. If you can't have a buddy or something bring you to the parking lot and you be able to practice here, then this is pretty much still going to be able to let you practice in your neighborhood with the same skills or whatever. So I just try to avoid people if I can, but let's talk about a few things, right? So the first two things that you want to do is you want to check your tires, then you want to check your chain to make sure you don't have a super loose chain and that your tires are inflated. Then what you want to do is you want to come over to your side here and you want to check your oil by lifting your bike on its side. Very simple. Most people are not going to be starting off with a ZX14, so your bike shouldn't be too heavy, but you just want to tilt it to the side, check your oils. Few things that you want to know right off the back. This is your gear shifter right here. It goes up or down. This is your clutch. It's on the left hand side of the bike. This is your front brake. It is on the right hand side of your bike. And this is your rear brake, and it's obviously also on the right hand side of your bike. That's the controls for your bike. It's super simple to remember. Clutch, brake, gear shift, brake. Now we're going to hop on the bike here and we're going to go ahead and talk about how we're going to get started. So if you see how I'm rolling right now, it's because I'm actually in neutral. Now, one of the things that I really like to say to do is, if you've never ridden before and this is your bike, what you want to do is you want to kind of just get a feel for the bike. Just roll it around, walk it, use your feet, use your hands, hit that brake, see what the brake feels like, even pull in the clutch a little bit, but just kind of walk it around and get used to having something in between your legs on two wheels. Once you get through that, which should only take you just a few seconds, honestly, you want to turn your bike on, and we're going to stay in neutral here, right? So for most bikes, you need to be in neutral to start the bike, or you need to pull in the clutch if you're in gear and make sure your kickstand is up. But for us, we're just going to stay in neutral here. We're going to start the bike, and then if you can see, my bike idles at about 1,000, 1,500. So you see how it dropped down? It's right above 1,000 RPMs. Something that I want you to get used to doing is to holding the RPMs at a desired level. So try in neutral, try to hold your RPMs at 2,000. So a lot of people will grab the throttle and they'll do something like that because they don't understand the sensitivity of a throttle. But you want to just sit there. You see how I'm holding it right at 2? You want to get used to being able to do that. You want to get used to being able to do that because that teaches you intro throttle control. You need to know how sensitive your throttle actually is. So what you're going to do is take your hand, place it on your bar end, place your hand right here on your throttle. You don't want to be all the way up here because guess what? The second you start moving, you're going to flick your throttle back and you're going to whiskey throttle and you're probably going to crash. So we're going to take it here. We're going to just lay it on there with your wrist bent like this. You don't want it like this. You don't want it like this. We're going to bend it back like this. Now, what this allows you to do is you can't go but so far without actually being uncomfortable to the point where you just can't do it. So this allows us to actually get used to handling the throttle. Now, I always said be in neutral, but let me show you how to get to neutral in case you don't know. So when it comes down to your gears, you're going to have, if it's traditional gearing, 1 down and 6 up, or however many you have up, could be 5, but in this case 6 up. So that means in neutral, you start here. First gear is a click down. Second gear, you click up through neutral. So not 2 clicks, but just 1 click to second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on. So easy. Like again, neutral, down is first, up is second, third, fourth, and so on. If you're on the bike, you can feel it in neutral because it rolls. Let's say I'm in gear. So I'm in gear now. My bike isn't going to roll. No matter what I do, it's not going to roll. Pull in the clutch with your right hand all the way in and give it a nice little half click up, and then you should be ready to roll again. You're in neutral. All right, so now that we got down neutral, gears, and playing with the throttle, what I want you to do, we're going to put the bike in gear and we're going to just play around with the feathering zone, or we're going to feather the clutch. So what that means is there's a friction zone where your bike starts to move forward. You see that? Look at my hand. There's a friction zone where the bike moves forward. What a lot of people will do, and it's not going to hurt the bike, but you see how you just lurch forward like that and it stalls your bike? You let go of the clutch too fast. So you really want to get good at feathering the clutch. So find that zone. You can use your hands, you can use 2 fingers. I use my whole hand because my 14 clutch is heavy, but you want to find that zone. Just find that zone, nice and easy. Then, while you're finding that zone without throttle, see, you want to try to get some bar ends like this where you can just set your hand there, but without throttle, you're going to find that zone and you're just going to walk your bike. Okay? If you feel like you're going too fast, pull in that clutch, pull in the brake. Find that zone, walk your bike, pull in clutch, pull in brake. Find the zone, walk your bike, pull in clutch, pull in brake. Now, what's going to happen is, if you pull in your brake too hard, you're just going to lurch forward. This is an easy way to drop your bike because you won't expect that lurch forward. Make sure you're easy on the brakes. You never want to be too hard on the brakes. So get used to easily pulling in the clutch, pulling in the brake. Clutch, brake. All right, so let me turn around. So, okay. Also, I'm turning around because I know how to ride a bike, but if you don't, turn your handlebars, use your time to feather that clutch, and you can walk your bike in a circle. Okay? Now, with a lot of bikes, you're going to be able to actually get rolling without giving it any throttle. Your bike will start just by the clutch alone. This is the next step that we're going to do. So we've already covered the brakes, the layout, feathering the clutch, being in neutral, being in first gear, what to do with your throttle. So now we're going to start walking the bike until it starts rolling, and we're going to pick our feet up. So just with the clutch alone, no throttle. Let it out, pick your feet up, and you're going to start going. You see that? No throttle at all. You're going to just start going. Now, my ZX14 can go all the way to like 11 miles an hour with no throttle at all. Your bike may not be able to do that, but if it can, it can go. There is no if. It can go. It just won't go that fast probably. So now, what I want you to do, once you get comfortable doing that, so being comfortable, just starting, no gas, no nothing, right? What I want you to be able to do now is give it just that little bit of throttle. So try to get to the 2,000 RPMs like we talked to before, or actually 1,500. So you see where I'm at right here? Right on my RPMs. Now we're going to give it just a little bit of clutch, and we're going to go. See, now we're going with a little bit of throttle. So we're going to be moving faster, okay? Now I don't need you to panic when it comes down to moving faster. It's going to be your first time. Make sure you're at the end. If you see where my hand is, I'm at the end of the throttle. This will allow me to not whiskey throttle. We're going to put our hand on the bar end. We're going to do our wrist right so we don't whiskey throttle. Don't ever grip it like this. Don't ever grip it with a full fist, and don't grip it all the way up here. All right, so now we can give it a little gas and get going. I want you to practice that a few times. Try that like 10 times. Now we're gonna try to give it around 2,000 RPMs, and we're gonna do the same thing. You see that? 2,000 RPMs, we got going super quick. I mean, not super fast, but 2,000 RPM gets us going, and we're nice, and we're cruising, and we're doing good in that same parking lot, okay? Now, this is the point where if you're a beginner, you want to kind of just do this. Just cruise right here. If you get to the end when you need to turn around, you're probably not going to be able to just whip it around. Also, you want to watch out for gravel and stuff like that so you don't slip. It's okay. Pull in the clutch, hit the brakes, walk your bike into a circle. Walk it. Just get used to feathering that clutch and working that throttle. Feather the clutch, work the throttle, okay? Get to the end. You can even come to a full stop if you want to. And we're just going to walk the bike around in a circle. Now, in the next video, we're going to talk about maneuvering, but I just taught you how to get started on the bike. That's all you need to do. All right? Now, the last step of this is going to be what you do with the gears, okay? So I want you to practice gear shifting. And we're actually going to practice this with the bike off. So we started off in first gear, right? We're in first gear. What we're going to end up doing is we're going to pull in the clutch and let off the gas at the same time. So look at my hands. Gas, pull in the clutch, let off the gas. And when we do this, we're going to use our left foot to click up on the gear shifter. We're going to use our left foot and go straight up on the gear shifter. And what that's going to do is that's going to put us into second gear, okay? Once we're in second gear, we can even do the same thing again. We can go kick up into second gear. Now, once we want to go down in gears, we're going to do the same process again, where we let off the throttle, pull in the clutch, and now click down in the gear. And this is what this is going to look like. This should be your final step once you do everything else. So you want to get started. You want to go forward. You want to be real comfortable doing that. And we're going to go up in the gear, all right? Okay, you heard that? So what we ended up doing, we went from first to second. Now my bike is really big, and I can teach you on my smaller bike, but I can't get up to speed really when it comes down to it. But that's how you do it. We're gonna let in the give it gas, let off the gas, pull in the clutch, click up, second gear. And the same thing for when we're going down. So you want your RPMs to go down, but you let off the gas, pull in the clutch, kick down, and let go of the clutch. When you're going at speed, you don't have to let go of the clutch as smoothly as you did when you were taking off. You can let go of it fast. So I'm going to give you guys a small little ride so that you guys can see what I do. We're going to go in. We're going to pull in the clutch, give it gas, or let off the gas, click up to second. Then we're going to come down. We're going to click into first. All right. Remember, smooth on the clutch, smooth on the throttle. We're going to let it go. Pull in the clutch, go into second, just like that. Now pull in the clutch, let off the gas, go into first, just like that. All right. And that is how you ride a motorcycle.